The future is green. With concerns of global warming and greenhouse gas emissions produced from fossil fuel powered energy plants, there is an effort worldwide to switch from fossil fuel based energy towards more based on renewable resources. Some renewable energy sources are the wind, the sun, waves, tides, and geothermal heat. There is one type that I will go over, and that will be hydroelectricity, power produced from hydropower. The history of this power goes back since antiquity, when ancient Greek farmers used water to turn water wheels to grind wheat into flour. It is clever to use the water's kinetic energy to turn a wheel, which produces mechanical energy, just as so long as it is close to a river. Hydropower makes up 70% of total electricity production. The countries that produce the most is China, followed by Canada, Brazil, and the United States, according to the Energy Information Administration. There are several ways to use hydropower to produce electricity. The most common way is conventional dams. Electricity is produced when the water from the source goes through the outflow. It passes through a tube that takes the water to a water turbine and generator that produces the power. The amount of power produced depends on the difference of height between the water on the source side versus the water on the outflow side, the difference of height being called the head. The greater the head, the more power the dam produces. Three examples of conventional hydroelectric dams will be the Hoover Dam in the United States, the Aswan Dam in Egypt, and the Three Gorges Dam in China, the largest power station in the world. Another type of is through pump storage. When there's a surplus of energy, the pump power plant uses that to pump water from a low-lying reservation to a higher reservation. When there's a period of high electricity demand, the power plant releases stored water in the elevated reservoir to the turbine located within the plant, producing electricity. This is great to supplement other renewable energy sources that might be intermittent due to weather, such as solar and wind. Examples of pump storage plants include the Helms Pump Storage Plant in the United States, the Matanawagawa Dam in Japan, and the Goldistal Pump Storage Station in Germany. A run-over-the-river power station that generates power with only the use of upstream water to generate, with small or no reservoir capacity. Best located in streams or rivers with constant flow from lake or reservoir upstream. Examples include the Bersimis 2 generating station in Canada, the Biricek Dam in Turkey, and the Jirau Dam in Brazil. One last type is tidal power. Tidal power stations use a large amount of power within ocean tides to produce electricity, according to an article in Alternative Energy Tutorials. The advantage of tidal power over other renewable resources such as solar and wind is that tides are predictable. They are not widely used but have potential. The advantage of hydropower is that it is renewable, can be used alongside other renewable resources such as solar and wind to provide a constant source of power together, can contribute to storage of drinking water, produces very little greenhouse gases, produces no waste, and water use is not subject to market fluctuations, unlike the fuels or natural gases, according to a USGS article. Disadvantages to hydropower is the limited places where it could be placed. They have to be located in the vicinity of a river or a stream, except for the case of a tidal power station, which has to be located in a body of water with tides. Dams could flood the areas, flooding towns, landmarks, and displacing people. Think of how the building of the Aswan Dam in Egypt threatened the ancient Abu Simbel temples. Although the good thing was that the temples were relocated to safety in the 1960s before the area was flooded. Another example is how the completion of the Three Gorges Dam in China displaced 1.3 million people. They could also negatively affect nearby ecology, such as flooding of basins, increased heat pollution, and change of river courses. One example would be salmons. Salmons swim upstream to spawn and rear for future generations of salmons. With the building of a dam, that could put a halt on their breeding and spawning due to being blocked by the dam.